Today's recipe is going to be apple cinnamon pull-apart bread. Perfect for breakfast or dessert. I'm going to show you how to make this easy, simple recipe at home, and it comes out wonderful every single time. Stay tuned. Welcome to my simple honest kitchen. Today's recipe is cinnamon apple pull-apart bread. We're going to be making 2 nice loaves. So let's get started. First thing, to activate our yeast. So in this bowl I got 2/3 of a cup of milk and 1/3 of a cup of water, nice and warm, not too hot. And we're going to put 3 teaspoons of yeast. This is the kind that needs to be activated. Just plop it in there. And 3 tablespoons of sugar, regular granulated sugar. Let's put it in there. And then give it a good whisk. Just like so. Make sure you don't have any big lumps in there. And this is going to take about 10-15 minutes to activate. You can put a little bit of flour in there. Let the yeast eat something. There we go, just like that. And that's about it. So cover this with a piece of plastic wrap and just set it aside and let it do its thing. So let's get started with our filling here, because the filling's going to need to sit around a little bit to cool off before we put it in the bread. So anywho, set your stove top to about medium temperature. And over here I got about 3 pounds, a 3-pound bag of apples. What I did is went ahead and shredded them. So just put them straight in there, straight in your pan with juice and all. And what we're gonna do is cook this down and to reduce and all that good stuff, and your bread's gonna come out a lot better, your pull-apart bread. It's gonna cook all the way through and be just nice and yummy. So we'll do that, and on top of that I got a full cup of sugar. You can use brown sugar, I'm just using regular white sugar, and 3 teaspoons of cinnamon. So just put that in there, and this is going to cook. Not going to take too long till it's done cooking. Probably it's going to start kind of bubbling. It takes about a good 20 minutes, and just spin it around. Once it gets going, you mix all the sugar and all the apples and cinnamon together. Your house is going to smell fantastic. And just keep on mixing it every now and then. You don't have to keep on mixing it constantly, you know. Okay, so we're going to let that continue cooking. So see, the yeast activator is nice and frothy. So let's go ahead and finish the rest of the thing up. Alright, so to that we're gonna add 4 cups of all-purpose flour. Just go ahead and dump it in there. We're gonna add a couple of eggs, just nice room temperature eggs. Perfect. And half a cup of butter. I just like to leave mine to soften up. If you forget, don't worry, just heat it up in a microwave, melt it up, and it's the same thing. So that, and I like to put a little bit of extra flavoring in mine. You don't have to, but if you have some, it comes out a little bit tastier. Teaspoon of vanilla extract. And then we're gonna need this. You just kind of mix around with your fork. You keep an eye on them apples, spin them around a little bit now and then. There we go. Actually, it works out perfect this way if you do kind of both at the same time, because by the time the apples are cool enough, your dough will have risen. So mix it up like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and knead it for about, and just till it comes together. You don't have to go crazy with it. About, I don't know, about 5-10 minutes. About 5 minutes, 10 minutes if you need a workout. Okay, so the dough's good to go. Just squish it in there, cover it up, and it takes about an hour. You can let it go for about an hour and a half till it's done. Just set it to the side, and we're back at our apple business here. So it's bubbling away, it's doing its thing. It lets out a lot of juice, ton of juice. So anyways, apples wise, I like to use Fuji apples. And pretty much everything. Reason is, they don't get mushy. Some apples, when you cook them, when you make a pie with them or something like that, they just kind of turn into applesauce. These ones don't. You can cook them like this, and they'll still stay nice and firm. You can tell what you're eating. So just keep on doing this till most of that syrup evaporates, most of the water evaporates, and it'll be just a nice syrup. And after that, we're gonna put it in a bowl just as quick as it's done. Okay, so it looks like we're pretty much ready here. Most of the syrup, most of the water evaporated. So what we're gonna do is dump it back in this bowl. Still has a lot of that syrup, but most of it's gonna keep on evaporating. Dump it in a bowl and put a couple of tablespoons of butter. And while it's still hot, then just swish it around. And that's pretty much it. Then you set this aside, wait for your dough to finish up rising. Okay, so it's been about an hour and 10 minutes. And look how nice our dough rose. So now what we're going to do is punch it down and knead it a little bit more. See, if you wear gloves, with this type of dough that tends to be sticky, makes your life a lot easier. So just kind of eyeball it and split it in two pieces. You see, not that good at it, but there you go. So what you do, have a little bit of flour handy, flour your work surface, and then we're just gonna split this in half. And what we want to do is roll a couple of long rectangles. Okay, so just like so. And then we're going to put about half of the filling right on it, on the first one. Then we're going to come back with that first one. Alright, and get yourself a knife. And we have just got standard loaf pans. I line them with a couple of sheets of parchment paper. Just kind of cut it to fit. This way when it cooks, it doesn't stick, obviously, and when you go to lift it up once it's cool, you just go like that. I'll show you how to do that. So just kind of even out your thing here. Don't worry about some of the syrup falling, and cut them into a whole bunch of pieces. It's a little messy, but that's kind of the point of the whole thing. And then just stick them in your pan. Okay, so we got both of our pull-apart spread kind of set up. This one I kind of winged it a little bit. So if you got any leftover juice, any leftover apples, just kind of drizzle it on top. So what we're gonna do now is just kind of cover it loosely, and then we're gonna let this rest for about half an hour before we stick it in the oven. Okay, so it's been about 45 minutes, and look at these. Pretty much more than doubled in size. Look at it. Perfect. So we're gonna stick them in a 350 oven for about 45 minutes. Now they gotta sit there because it's all kinds of juicy inside. After so you don't burn them, you let them bake for about 20 minutes, and then open your oven and put a sheet of aluminum foil on top of each. Just lay it right on top like that, and that will prevent them from burning. they'll keep on baking, but they won't burn on top. Don't put any sooner, because then this stuff will stick to the dough, and you don't want that. Okay, so I just pulled these out of the oven. They're done. I tested them. Poke them with a barbecue skewer. Make sure they're done. Been about 45 minutes and they're still hot. So I got some simple icing made. About 1/3 of a cup of powdered sugar and a few tablespoons of water, and just mix it around. I like the more watery, runny type of glaze, type of icing, and just put it all over. What this does is obviously makes it taste a lot better and sweeter, and it also keeps your pull-apart breads from drying out when you get them out of the oven. So do this first while they're still hot, and that is about it. So hope you guys try my recipe here. Hope you like it, and hope to see you guys next week.